Hello. Welcome. If you are just hopping on now, we are getting ready for a 30-minute slow flow class. So slow flow is one of our yoga inspired classes. So as you're getting logged on, we'll get started right around noon. So use this time to kind of create a space for yourself. If you have a mat or a towel, you can make that space now as well. My name is Jenny, and before we hop in, I'll go ahead and read our liability statement so we can get that out of the way as people are getting logged on. Participation in campus recreation programs and activities is completely voluntary. There are risks and hazards, minor and serious, associated with participation in these programs. Participants voluntarily assume all responsibility and risk of loss, damage, illness, and/or injury to person or property associated with participation in campus recreation programs and activities. Campus rec programs and activities require a minimum level of fitness to participate safely. The Campus Rec Department strongly advises participants to consult with their physician if they have any doubts of their physical ability to safely participate. Virtual resources and activities are intended for Campus Rec members only. So all of that to say, make sure you've got a lot of space around you. About a mat's length would be perfect. Just making sure there's no tripping hazards or anything that you could slip on or fall on. And we'll give it a couple more minutes. I will have some music playing in the background. Can you guys hear that? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music. Okay, let me know if it gets too loud at any point. It is 12 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started. If you're just now tuning in, again, my name is Jenny. We're going to spend the next 30-35 minutes or so together just going through a brief slow flow. So again, our classes are usually 60 minutes long, so this might feel short for some of you, but it might just be the perfect amount for others. So my goal for these next 30 minutes is just for you to take some time out of your day, maybe take some time to breathe, take some time to relax, and do something good for you. So if you've never done yoga before, you'll be totally fine. And if you've done a ton of yoga before, you'll also be perfectly fine. So we'll find something for everyone, and we'll give plenty of options as we go through. But today we'll go ahead and start in a lying warm-up. So if you could just meet me on your mat or wherever your space is, lying down on your back. We'll go ahead and get started. Again, if the music becomes too loud or too distracting, just let me know in the comments and I'll turn it down. But we're meeting here in this lying position. Legs can be out, or we can bring them in with bottoms of the feet together, whatever feels comfortable here. And just take a moment to settle in to your mat or your ground or wherever you are. Use this time here to let go of any thoughts, any worries, any fears, anything that doesn't bring good. Forgetting about everything we were doing before this and everything we have to do after this, and really just focusing on being present here in this moment. Taking note of our breath here, as our breath will power everything we do today. You'll hear me say one movement, one breath, meaning we won't allow the body to move until we give the body a chance to breathe. Taking a few of those deep breaths now with deep inhales through the nose, feeling it all the way in the back of our throat. Deep exhales through the mouth like we're fogging up a mirror. You can place your hands on your belly if you want to feel the rise and the fall of your breath. Taking a few moments here, doing a scan of the body, noticing how it feels in contact with the ground. We'll slowly start introducing just a little bit of movement at a time. So again, our legs can be bent in or they can be extended out, whatever feels most comfortable. But just starting with the arms here, we're going to inhale, lift the arms up above the head, coming back as far as it feels comfortable for our range of motion. As we exhale, we sweep them slowly back down, being intentional with this movement by our sides. Again, we can have those legs bent in. Inhale, lifting overhead, reaching as far as we can, maybe curling the back just a little bit, shoulders pressed into the mat. We exhale again, bringing those arms forward, now back pressing to the mat. Go through this a few more times, focusing on using your breath to guide you. With every inhale, we go over. With every exhale, we go back down. Good. Continue here, eyes open or eyes closed, depending on what feels comfortable for you. Giving yourself a couple more of those over the top. And down to the side. Hands rest on our sides and we bend our knees, planting our feet on the mat. So our knees are in a bent position here. We can closely bring them together so our knees are touching, feet touching as well. We're just going to wake up the hips and the back here. One inhale to start, and as you exhale, dropping those knees over to the right side. Both knees to the right side, introducing a little twist. Inhale, coming back to the middle, and exhale to the other side. Going through this rocking side to side at your own pace. Waking up the hips, maybe releasing some tension in the low back. Focusing on having your breath control the movement. Don't let the movement control your breath. Giving yourself a couple more of these here. Of course, only going to the range that feels comfortable. And on that next inhale, meeting back as we started in that bridge position. Widening the feet a little bit. Hands can be out to the side or down closer to the hips. We're going to go through a couple bridges here, so feet are planted on the mat. We inhale, lifting hips into the air, squeezing glutes at the top. We exhale, slow, lower down, controlling the motion. We inhale, lifting hips to the top, holding here for just a moment. And exhale, slow, lower down, giving yourself a couple more of these here. One more, nice hold at the top. And exhale, slow, lower it down. One more thing here. Keeping our left knee bent, we extend our right leg out. We're just going to go through a few leg lifts here. So do me a favor, point your toes to the outside. So not straight up, but to the outside. Keeping our low back planted on the mat, we lift that right leg up into the air, toes pointed out. We exhale, lower down, just waking up the hips and the glutes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Of course, taking these at a pace that feels good for you. And slow, lower down. Transitioning to the other side, we bend that right knee. We extend the left leg out. Toes pointed out to the side here. We inhale, lift. We might feel this tension in our hamstrings, identifying the areas that we might be a little bit more tight today. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Take one more here if you'd like. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Good. Bringing both knees in, hugging them nice and tight, and rolling the back out just a little bit. Preparing for a little bit more movement here, taking your time and meeting me on all fours whenever you're ready, making sure we're still connected here. Good, meeting me here in an all fours position. So when we meet in all fours, shoulders are stacked on top of the hands, hips are stacked on top of the knees. Nice neutral spine as we move into cat-cows. So as we inhale, we drop belly button to the ground, head and tailbone to the sky for cow. We exhale to reverse, spine to ceiling, head tucks between the shoulders, cat. Leading with our lumbar spine, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, exaggerating this movement a little bit more each time, feeling this in the belly and the spine. Good, continue through here. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. You can rock back and forth into this as much or as little as you'd like. Whatever feels good here. Continue here. Good, deep inhales, letting your breathing become audible here, making sure you can hear your breath. Giving yourself one more here of each, and then meeting us back in that neutral spine. Maybe we shake it out. We look over one shoulder at a time as we prepare for some spinal extensions. Again, we're just slowly warming up that belly and that spine. So we start here, we lift our right arm in front of us, and we extend that left leg behind. Now if our knees are feeling sensitive, we can grab a towel or something to put underneath, or we can just drop that back leg to lessen the load. Next, inhale, we bring right elbow into left knee underneath us. We exhale, extend, getting longer each time, controlling our breath, pretending as if there's a glass of water on our back that we don't want to spill. Exhale, lengthen. One more here. Beautiful. Switching to the other side, going into a quick wrist stretch first. Flipping the top of our hand over onto our mat. Leaning back. Again, we transition to the other side. This time we inhale, lift that left. Right leg extends out again, or we can drop it down. Inhale, meets in the middle. Exhale, lengthen. Continue here, going through this for about 5 good breaths. Deep inhales as you meet in the middle, and exhales as we extend, pretending as if somebody's coming and grabbing your hand and your foot and pulling them in opposite directions. Core is engaged. Everything is in line. Giving yourself maybe one more here, and then meeting back in all fours, stretching out those wrists. And when you're ready, just meeting me in child's pose, widening the base of our knees, sending those hips back, pushing the ground away from us with our hands. Knowing we can come back to this child's pose anytime we want to during today's practice, if we just want to reconnect with our breath. Breathe here for one more inhale. And exhale, rising back up to all fours as we go through our first sun salutation. We'll break this up nice and slow to start. And then we'll go through it one more time. From all fours, we tuck our toes under, we lift our hips, and we send our weight back for downward facing dog. Pressing those heels toward the mat, and it's okay if they're not there. They don't need to be all the way down. As long as we're feeling this nice pull in our posterior chain. From here, we inhale, shift our weight forward to plank. Everything's in a nice line. Knowing that if we want to take the load off of our shoulders, we can always drop to our knees to lessen the load. As we exhale, we slow lower down to the mat, elbows tucked in. Flipping the feet here, we inhale, lift just the upper body for up dog. Tuck the toes again, we push back for down dog. Next inhale, we bring our right foot forward in between our hands. Left foot comes to follow. Inhale, sweep the arms up nice and high. And we exhale, meeting in our mountain pose, strong standing pose at the top of our mat. We'll go through that again, this time from the top. As we inhale, arms rise up. As we exhale, swan dive forward, tiny bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift to a nice flat back, core is engaged. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale, step or hop those feet back, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, shifting forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting for up dog. Tuck the toes, exhale, down dog. Taking your time here, either stepping or hopping those feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, sweep arms up nice and high. And exhale into mountain. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Meeting me at the top of your mat. So you continue to flow through. So we'll go through a quick chair sequence here. Shoulders back and down, looking down, making sure those feet are about hip width apart, spreading those toes nice and wide. From here, we inhale, sweep the arms up, tiny back bend if we'd like. But as we exhale, we come into a chair. So it is what it sounds like. We're sitting back into our imaginary chair, making sure those knees aren't too far in or too far out, but tracked nice and parallel. Inhale, we rise back up, tiny back bend. Exhale, this time forward fold, straight legs come down. Inhale, sweeping all the way up to the top, tiny back bend, going back into that chair. Exhale, have a seat. Sinking a little lower each time. Feeling warmth in the body. Inhale, rise up. We're going back to that forward fold. Exhale. One more time here. Inhale all the way up, tiny back bend. And we exhale, have a seat. Holding this one a little bit longer, a little bit lower. Making sure we can still wiggle those toes. Exhale. Inhale, lift up one more time. And exhale, meeting back in mountain, rolling those shoulders out here. Preparing for our first warrior sequence. We meet at the top of the mat, falling through here. Inhale, rise all the way up to the top. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step or hop those feet back, meeting back in that downward dog. Pedal those feet out here. And dog. We have a lifted right leg, so we extend that up into the air. We bend that left leg if we need that extra little stretch. And as we exhale, we send that right foot through in between the hands. Left foot turns and plants behind for stability. We inhale, sweep those arms up high, settle in, warrior one. Checking our posture here, so we want those hips to be squared forward, shoulders back and down, removed from the ears. We're building strength in our legs by pretending that we're ripping the mat in half with our feet. As we exhale, we open up the chest, warrior two, arms come wide, gazing over the top of that right hand. Next, inhale, we flip that right hand over, send it to the back, peaceful warrior. And as you exhale here, two options. We can either come into an extended triangle, or we can lift off and come into warrior three. So for this warrior three, this is a balancing exercise here. So if you want something to hold on to nearby, you can, or if you want to keep that back foot planted down. But we lift off, trying to turn our bodies into a T. So giving that a try, even just for one breath, and exhale, lower down, meeting back at the top of the mat. Same thing, other side. Again, if you're just tuning in, we got cut out the first time, but we're zooming back at the top of our mat. Inhale, lift up high. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step or hop those feet back. Downward facing dog. This time we inhale, lift that left or whatever leg you didn't do last time. Bending that knee if we need to for an extra hip opener. Exhale, sending that foot through. Turning and planting the back foot, keeping it in line with the front. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Warrior one. Again, checking in with that form here. Next, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flipping that left hand up, sending it to the back, peaceful warrior. That back hand can either rest in the small of our back or behind on our back leg. One more inhale here. And as we exhale, we have the option to take off for warrior three. So making that T with our body, trying out that balancing pose. We can hold on to something or we can keep it planted behind. Maybe taking off, focusing on that hip hinge rather than just the lift of the leg. One more inhale and exhale. Slowly unwinding here. Preparing for some deeper stretches with the time we have left. We'll make it back down to the ground. We inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step or hop those feet back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift for up dog. Tuck the toes. Exhale, down dog. Meet me here. Pedal it out just a little bit while I make sure we're still connected. Good. Pedaling it out there, maybe noticing where this down dog is in comparison to where it was when we started. Preparing for our pigeon stretch here. Let's inhale, lift the right leg up in the air. But this time we exhale the right knee through. Creating an angle between our ankle, our knee, and our hip. That back leg is extended, so depending on how open or tight our hips are today will determine how open or closed that ankle is. But really find what works for you here. And slowly lower down into this pigeon. If you have a pillow or something nearby that you want to rest on, you can do that as well. Focusing on breathing deeply into the muscles that we're working here. So we feel this in our hip and our glute. So breathe into those muscles. For one more inhale. And exhale, slowly walking it up from wherever we are. We can tuck those left toes under, lift that left knee, and send it back into downward dog. Same thing on the left side, lifting that left leg, sending it through, creating that angle that's unique to you. Widening it, knowing it might be a little bit more tight on one side over the other, and that's okay. That's just how our bodies are some days. But finding wherever you are here and slowly settling down. Breathe deeply. Again, breathing into the muscles wherever we're feeling this or wherever we want to feel this. Breathe into it. Allowing one more deep inhale. And exhale, slowly rising up here, tucking those right toes under, lifting that right knee and sending it back for one more downward dog. Pedaling it out here, dropping one heel at a time. When you're ready, drop those knees. You can take child's pose here, whatever you'd like. Giving your body a little bit of a shake. And when you're ready, slowly lowering yourself all the way down to the mat. We're gonna go into a couple quad stretches here. So again, we're belly down on the mat. You're gonna reach back and first start and try to grab your right foot. So if that's not happening today, we can grab a towel, we can grab a belt, something that'll give us that extra length. And we have the option to stay here, or if we'd like to intensify this stretch a little bit, we can lift the chest off of the mat, pulling that heel in towards our glute. Again, we focus on keeping that right hip down, so we're feeling this stretch in our quad. Again, we can go into this as high or as low as we want, but holding here for just a couple more breaths. Focusing on bringing that right hip bone down to the mat. For one more inhale. And exhale, releasing to the other side, reaching around, now grabbing for that left foot. Again, we can press up here, or we can keep it lower and focus on isolating that left hip, so pressing it down toward the mat. Good, giving ourselves one more inhale. And exhale when you're ready, slowly pushing back up again to those all fours. We're gonna get a good shoulder stretch in here. Again, shaking it out, side to side. Starting on the right side, we're gonna inhale, lift our right arm all the way up to the sky, opening that chest. And as we exhale, we lace it under the left, guiding that right shoulder down to the mat. We can take that left hand, either put it behind our back, we can press into a deeper stretch, whatever we need here to feel a nice stretch, not a pinch, but just a nice stretch in the shoulder. Good, hold it here. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly unwinding, coming back to those all fours. Beautiful, same thing on the left side. We inhale, lift up all the way high. Get that internal stretch first. And when you're ready, exhale, sweeping it under the right. Pushing into that stretch wherever we need it today. We can sink those hips back a little bit more. giving us one more inhale. And exhale, slowly winding back up. Taking your time here and transitioning to your back again. So we're flipping over. And we're slowly lowering down to the mat. Going through a couple different options here. Stretching out the hips and the low back a little bit. But just start again by hugging those legs in nice and tight, similar to how we started. Focusing on slowing the breath down here, still using it to our advantage, but slowing it down just a little bit more. Option to stay here. If we'd like to take happy baby, we can either grab peace fingers around the big toe or hands on the outside of the feet, extending the legs, swaying side to side a little bit more, holding that there. If it feels okay to rock side to side, we can do that. When you're ready, releasing just the left leg, holding in the right, squeezing it nice and tight. Option to stay here or to cross the midline for a spinal twist. So we bring that right knee over to the left side, arms come out into a T. Breathing here, pretending as if somebody's putting pressure on that right shoulder and that right knee. We can extend that right leg if that feels okay. Allowing one more inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind, extending that right leg out. This time bringing in the left. Hugging it nice and close. As you exhale, bringing the left knee over to the right side. Arms come out into a T. Every time you exhale, imagine sinking lower into the mat. Time to take any other postures you might not have gotten to in the short time we had today. And with one last inhale and exhale, slowly unwinding, coming into whatever you want your Shavasana or your final relaxation position to be. You could do feet up against a wall, bottoms of the feet in again, whatever feels good for you. Let the eyes close here as you prepare for your final relaxation. Settling in here, focusing deeply on your breath. And I'll give you just a couple minutes here to take this last bit of time for you and for your practice. ready, slowly bringing awareness back to your space. Start by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Turning over to your most comfortable side whenever you're ready, taking as much time as you'd like. And as it feels okay, meeting me up in a comfortable seated position. Option to keep eyes open or closed here. But just taking these last few moments to offer yourself gratitude, to offer your body gratitude, for truly thanking yourself for taking time out of your day, even if it was just a couple minutes, to do something good for you and for your body. I thank you for taking this time and sharing it here with me. Until we meet again, namaste. Again, I encourage you, take as much time as you'd like. 30 minutes is not a long time. So I encourage you, go through that